Catherine, what is the EU doing in response to these developing events in Italy?
Well, they're definitely saying that they're taking it very seriously. Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, who herself actually has medical training, she said public health is the number one priority. And there was a press conference earlier on from the European Health and Crisis Response Commissioners. So they were saying that, the EU is standing ready to offer more help to the member states at any point that any of the EU's member states requests that. Now, that's quite important language because health is a national competency, as they're called. It's the responsibility of each member state, and the EU can only get involved at the invitation of member states. But in terms of cash, they are putting forward a European Commission aid package. It's worth 232 million euros, and some of that money is going to be released immediately. So I can break down for you with our little graphic how that money is going to be divvied out. As you can see, 114 million of it set to support the World Health Organization. 100 million euros will be for research into combating, treating and providing vaccines against coronavirus. 15 million as well to be allocated in Africa, and 3 million euros for potentially repatriating any more European citizens from Wuhan in China, where this broke out. Now, another way that the EU is getting involved is that a joint delegation is going to Italy, where we've seen these deaths over the last couple of days. They're going to be from the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control, which is an EU agency, and they'll be there alongside officials from the World Health Organization. So a very top-level scientific delegation, and whatever they report back will shape the EU's response in the days and weeks to come.
Now, there's certainly been a lot of media buzz here in France today with calls from the National Front leader Marine Le Pen to close the French-Italian border. Is that actually likely to occur?
Well, Marine Le Pen has asked for the French borders, the various external borders, to be closed on many occasions in the past. But it's not something that the government jumps to do. And that's one big reason for that is that France, like almost all EU member states, is part of the Schengen free travel zone. And the elimination of border controls back in 1995 is really seen as very important to European business and also to European cohesion and unity. Members of the Schengen zone, you can see on the screen there, all the ones in that green colour, they're EU members and Schengen states as well. So you can see how extensive it is. Members can temporarily reintroduce border controls. It's not forbidden. But under the rules, it has to be in the event of a serious threat to public policy or internal security, and it must remain an exception. They say it should only be used as a last resort as well. So it is up to each Schengen member state's government to decide if they want to reintroduce these border controls or not. Some of them are actually currently in place. For example, in France, border controls have been authorised since last Halloween, citing persistent terrorist threats and impacting all the borders. And also in Austria from mid-November last year, impacting the land borders with Hungary and Slovenia, also citing risks related to terrorist and organised crime. So, it is something that's possible. It is temporary when it does tend to happen. At this point, the French government saying that they're not reintroducing those border controls. The Austrian authorities have given us sort of a bit of a hint that it could be something that they might be prepared to do. And we did see a train blocked at the border between Italy and Austria overnight. But yeah, it's very much an evolving situation. And as I said, it is up to each individual member state to decide what they want to do.
Catherine Nicholson, thanks for that.